Hi, this video will be covering assignment or task creation in Q Gradebook. Just before we start, assignment and task in Q Gradebook are synonymous. Sometimes you'll see the word task, sometimes you will see the word assignment. To get started, go ahead and visit your gradebook. And once here, you can go ahead and go to different courses if you like, but we'll go ahead and stay with this one. You'll see that there are already a couple of assignments in this gradebook. There are two different ways to put in tasks or assignments. One is to go to the By Task tab and click Add Task. And I want to draw your attention to one of the most important things, and that's the dates here at the top. So the assigned on date is just the date that you created it. Display on date, it tells you right here, it will not show in Student and Parent Connect before this date. Okay. And then due on, grades for the task or assignment will not calculate into the overall gradebook grade until this date. So what some people do is they correct assignments and they go, but it's not calculating. Well, yes, they are right, but it won't calculate and show up in the grade until the due on date. So that date is very important. The title, this is where you give it like the longer title. And then always pops one down here below, so you can go ahead and change this. Category, this tells you exactly what section it goes under, if it's a quiz, a performance, or class participation. I'm going to give it 5 points. And even though this isn't yellow, you still have to put points in there. Even if you put a 0 in there, because you're going to be using this assignment for extra credit or something like that, there has to be a number in the points possible. Okay, weighted grades. I'm going to go ahead and mark this assignment as graded. So right when I enter grades and post it, because today is the 15th, this will be calculated into the gradebook. Okay, so down here, there are two different ways I can assign this. Select all means I'm giving it to all the students, but if I wanted to do just for the groups, I can go in here and maybe I only want to give it to group 2. I would just select the students in this manner and go down and select all of group 2. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it that this assignment is given to all students. And then I'm going to hit submit. Also, just a little quick heads up, if I wanted to give this class participation week 3 to both of my classes, again, I can go ahead and click here and I can submit. And now my task is created. Now to enter the scores, the quickest and easiest way to do that is the By Task tab. So I go ahead and I click on Participation Week 3. Let's say all my kids came and they all did a great job. It's worth 5 points. I'm going to give them all 5 points. The easiest way is to put that 5 in the top and use this fill down arrow, and it puts in the 5s all the way down. Then if you need to, you can go in and alter or change any grade from maybe a 5 to a 4, let's say. Okay, you enter those and change them accordingly. Over here, this is where you can do your scoring options. Let's say there was a student that was in class, but they had to leave, so they really didn't participate in class that day. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to excuse them from that task. Let's say there were some students in class, I gave them a different or modified assignment. I can select those items here. And once I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and click on submit. When I come back to the spreadsheet, they're going to automatically calculate into the gradebook. So you can see here, points possible, 15 out of 15. And you're going to see some color coding and things like that in here. So you can see if it's outlined green, I excuse the student from the task. So out of 15 points possible, they have 15 points, so they have 100% in my class. They have an outstanding grade. You'll see some other icons in here. This one, I gave an assignment to just a group of students, so this student was excluded from this task. I flagged this one as a modified assignment, so it's outlined in blue. So now you start to see how the gradebook setup that we did in the first video, those scoring options, how they're highlighted and kind of brought to your attention in the actual gradebook. Up at the top, these little green dots mean that this assignment has been graded. If I graded it prematurely and I want to pull that back, I can go ahead and unselect that and submit. And you're going to watch that these are going to change. The points possible and that kind of thing, they're going to change. So when I hit submit, Now, this student, because this one is not graded, has 5 points possible and has earned 5 points and still has 100%. Like I said, this doesn't calculate until I mark it as graded. Submit. Then it's going to calculate into the gradebook. The second way that you can enter tasks and assignments is to go to the Setup tab, come down to where it says Assignments, and we're going to click on Add. What this area allows you to do is to create basically the same assignment over and over and over. So if you're giving a quiz every Friday, if you are doing participation every day, then you might want to come in here once a week, once every couple weeks, and make your assignments here. I'm going to say this assignment isn't until the 18th. It will change all of these dates to the 18th. I'm not going to mark this as graded because it's a future assignment. I'm going to keep it where I am giving it to all my students, assigning it to all my students. Then I click Submit and New. Right here, this one right here, Submit and New. What that does is it keeps all my info from the previous one. If I change this date now to participation for the 19th, it changes that, and I just got to come in here and change a couple quick numbers for participation week 5. All the points are assigned. It's assigned to all my students. I go Submit and New. I just keep doing that over and over for all my assignments. If you want to assign it to all your classes, you can select that top box there. So now if I come back to my spreadsheet, I'm going to see that I have these assignments primed and ready to go. What we are looking at is the spreadsheet view. And remember, the easiest way to enter grades is to go to the By Task tab, come up to the top, fill down, and then change accordingly. And that's it for this video. If you have any additional questions, you can always let me know, and I hope you have a great afternoon.